theme of climate, and climate data gathered from ice core samples, builds upon the common meaning of Kuuki, which in Japanese is air or atmosphere. Climate, as the prevailing weather conditions, shapes our lives on a daily basis and is determined by our place in the world. Yet it's very hard to perceive changes in climate except over long periods of time. With the exception of extreme events, we experience changes in climate over decades. Changes in climate thus draw upon our memories of youth and of childhood, memories triggered by sensory experiences of our physical environment, by the changing of seasons, the warmth of the sun, a cool breeze, or the smell of flowering plants. Yet the experience which points to a change in climate and suggests human activity as the cause draws upon phenomena we cannot directly experience, such as changing CO2 levels, and also from memories which span much longer time frames, memories recorded in the environment, in trees, in soil, and in ice. It is for this reason that we have turned to ice core samples as a base data set. Ice stores memories of Earth's climate history, as well as recent human impacts. Ice cores are also drawn from areas that are the visible indicators of the effects of a warming climate, both glaciers and polar regions. Through visualising these data sets, we have aimed to create an evocative experience of changing climate, where the rise and fall of temperature and atmospheric chemicals are experienced as changing qualities of light and sound. Ice core samples are drilled in large sheets of ice, both from the Arctic and Antarctic as well as from glaciers. They're drilled primarily to obtain atmospheric chemicals and particulates from different periods of our geological history. These samples are trapped in the ice and air bubbles which form when the ice freezes, and they create a library of the Earth's atmospheric history. While the data extracted from ice core samples is most commonly used to reconstruct Earth's climatic history, ice cores also store chemicals released by human activity. For example, chlorine-36 resulting from atmospheric nuclear tests has been found in air bubbles in the Upper Fremont Glacier at depths corresponding to the years of those tests. So in spite of the fact that we've actually never seen a real ice core except in images viewed on the internet, or probably because of this reason, we settled upon the notion of creating a work that loosely resembles ice cores. The current work consists of 3 ice cores made from acrylic tubes of varying heights. Within each of these tubes are an array of individually controllable leads that are weaved around a central column. Outside this central column are a number of resin bubbles encasing organic matter. These bubbles are suspended on fibre optic cabling which we have nicked and marked to create pinpricks of light. In all, there are 700 leads and over 1500 resin bubbles in the work. The work also contains a series of proximity sensors that detect the presence of an audience. The proximity sensors that point upwards are used to allow an audience to interact directly with each of the poles. The control system for Distracted was written in processing by Glen, Wetherall and myself, and it's the first major project on which we have used processing. The custom software reads a number of climate datasets to create the patterns of illumination and sound. These datasets come from the Vostok ice core, the Epica ice core, the Law ice core, and the Keeling CO2 dataset. The datasets have been used to create a fluid visualization that is digitized and then sent to the LEDs within each pole over a TCP/IP network. The example playing now shows a cycle of relatively recent glacial and interglacial periods. The glacial periods, associated with lower temperatures, appear as darker blue, while the interglacial periods appear as a greener hue. This particular sequence is drawn from the Vostok ice core dataset and shows a period of time from around 330,000 years ago through to 250,000 years ago. Distracted is significant because the approach we have taken is relatively unique, especially in comparison to other artists who are working with climate change as a subject. By removing the screen from the work, we've given up any pretensions to making an informational representation of climate data, or using evocative imagery to tell the story of climate change and its impacts. As a result, the work is much closer to that of artists who sonify data or who aim to extend our experience of data by exploring abstract poetic visualizations. In this way, Distracted makes a unique contribution to the field, especially through our evocative treatment of climate data, a treatment that allows an audience to experience changes in climate across time in ways that are otherwise not possible.